christiangeekcentral.com. All right. Got my special hot chocolate, and this is really special hot chocolate. I got to show this to the camera as I record this so you can appreciate it before it kind of starts melting. But this is whipped cream on the top with, actually point this down a little bit if I can. With, where is it? Is it right there? There we go. Oh no, almost. Whipped cream on the top with caramel and chocolate drizzled on top of it. Come on, Paeter, aim the thing. There we go. Chocolate and caramel drizzled on top of it. The caramel's a new addition. I haven't used that in the past, but we had some left over from when we were celebrating some birthdays recently. My parents, oh no, it was Thanksgiving. They brought some dessert with the caramel in it and left that with us because they didn't want to take it home with them. So we graciously accepted their gift of caramel syrup to do whatever we wanted with, and I decided to try it with my hot chocolate, and the results have been spectacular, I must say. Okay, so I've got my headphones on, so I should be able to hear anybody in the Discord now. You there, Francisco? Or whoever was in there before, maybe? Oh, looks like, okay, we got Adam Collings and Reed. Awesome. Can you guys both hear me? I can hear you, Reed. I'm gonna light my candle here. This is a cinnamon sparkle scented candle. And I have been keeping candles going in my office. I usually have 2 running, but I'm a little short right now, so I'm just going to keep that right. But this one's scented. I usually don't have scented ones. That's quite the treat. And now I think I'm ready to go. Let me actually put an hour on this timer. Since I started late, I'm going to go late. There we go. All right. So welcome, you guys. Hey, Adam. I heard you. Oops. Let's see here. What time is it, Adam, in Australia?
It's currently 12:13 p.m.
Okay. That's right, Saturday. Saturday, so you've started the weekend. You're previewing it for... Oh, no, wait, no. This is Tuesday. It's not Friday. So you're previewing Wednesday for us. Okay. So if you guys want, you can jump over to the Patreon page, and I'm actually experimenting... I didn't say I was going to do this, but I'm experimenting with streaming this at the same time. And so it'll be delayed compared to what you're interacting with on the Discord channel. But, you know, if you want to have it up on mute and you can kind of see in general what games I might be playing or whatever, then you're welcome to do that. And it'll be archived afterward so that people can catch up with it. But how's your Christmas season starting off? Sorry, what's that? I heard something about something specific, Reed, and then I didn't catch...
Are you talking to anybody specific?
I wasn't, but let's target you here, Reed. What's Christmas like for you in general? It's, you know, celebrating it in China, and then how's this year specifically? Are you kind of feeling like it's the Christmas season yet, or yeah, anything you want to share?
Try to speak slowly in case I get cut.
Okay.
Christmas doesn't really feel like Christmas here because even though we do put up some Christmas things, usually stores, to try to use the marketability of it. There's some Christmas stuff, but it's not a traditional holiday here. It's considered a Western holiday to the point that the government even tries to get colleges to try to completely ignore it. And some colleges, they punish people for even observing it.
Oh, interesting.
The evil Western influence.
Yeah, yeah, sure.
People put up Christmas trees, pictures of Santa, like dancing saxophone Santa mannequins.
Oh yeah.
But the things that made Christmas feel like Christmas were, like all the decorations in our house, plus the Christmas music everywhere I went. Decorations everywhere. Christmas all over the TV,
Huh.
especially in a big city. You don't get any Christmas on TV that I've ever seen. Which, I mean, we don't watch TV, but like on the internet, on the Chinese streaming sites, there's no Christmassy stuff. So it's difficult to get a Christmas feeling. Actually, we're not really decorating our house much because a lot of decorations. We have a Christmas tree that we usually put up.
Okay.
But this year, our daughter is likes to get into everything, and if we put it up, we're afraid she'll chop it herself or
Sure.
try to eat the wire and electrocute herself or something silly. So
Yeah.
and do a lot of decorating for Christmas, and so I don't expect to really get the Christmas feeling kid until I go back to America.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember. I mean, I don't remember the details of it, but I do remember that Christmas ornaments were a bit tricky when our boys were little. Like we really, really had to either quarantine them somewhere and block them off from access to the Christmas tree. I think we did that until they were able to really understand. No, you don't touch. you know.
Hey guys, I wanted to break in real quick and say on the YouTube, whatever archive you're gonna have, Paeter, the Discord is really, really soft. It's really hard to hear, read, and I imagine Adam as well.
Yeah, I noticed that the waveform was kind of low on that, and so I did crank it up. There's a little bit of a delay, so if you want to check again, and let me know when you see my hands waving around the camera really close. That should be after I'm doing it right now. That by the time you see that, the Discord audio should be boosted up. So let me know what you think.
Perfect. I'm making dinner, so I'll be back in a bit. I'll check that.
Okay, thank you so much.
The other thing I noticed about this, when I click on it on Patreon, it says the video is unavailable. Playback on other websites has been disabled by the video owner.
Huh, okay. Let me check on that.
So I didn't even get as far as Francisco did.
That always happens for me with you have to click on it and it takes you to an unlisted YouTube page stream.
Have you... So, Reed, is there a workaround, or...
I'm watching it right now on YouTube. You have to click on the title to take you to YouTube to watch it instead of watching it remote on Patreon. Checking it now, and it is kind of. I do sound very low on it at this point.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know how long the delay is. Have you seen me waving my hands yet, Reed?
But I'm not watching it closely. I keep jumping back and forth.
Okay.
Back to the Discord page to monitor my connection.
Okay. Well, I'm going to jump into Monster Hunter World. When you see Monster Hunter World, that's after I boosted the audio on the Discord. So if it's still too soft, let me know and I'll see what I can do on my end. All right, let me just take a look down at my mixing board real quick. Yeah, unless I'm forgetting some step that I usually remember, I've got everything set up the way I've had it in the past, and I've got the volume for the Discord maxed out. So if it's still too soft, some of that might be fixed in post. Like what I'll do typically, well, not necessarily typically, but what I'll do sometimes is, even though it automatically archives on YouTube, I'll actually take the video and run it through a sound leveler to, make all the voices kind of about the same volume. But even live, it should be. You guys shouldn't be too quiet. So I don't know if that's still the case. I don't know what would be causing that. Maybe I need to turn myself.
Let me throw in. I may disappear suddenly. Having a busy morning.
Okay.
With coming over to fix our sink, and we're having company for lunch.
Oh man, that does sound busy.
So I just wanted to pop in and make sure I could say hi at least at some point.
Yeah, thanks, man. Yeah, it is the busy season now. I am totally feeling it. Some in work, because there's like more content stuff that like the end of the year stuff. Like I just finished my best of 2019 video game video, which was great to get that done. That always takes more work than the best movies one does, because I like to, because it's more. It's more involved, the footage I have to dig out for the games while I'm talking about them. But that's done, and so that's huge. But there's still the regular content to put out. I had this I Am Jesus Christ video game to react to, which that just suddenly happened over the weekend, and so yeah, it's been interesting. Adam, how are you doing? Are you feeling Christmassy yet this year?
I'm having a bit of an unusual Christmas this year. We're actually going on another cruise over New Year.
Oh, cool!
And what we determined is that the cheapest day to fly is Christmas Day.
Oh.
Christmas Day in an airport.
Yep, we've done that before.
Our focus this year with the kids is, your present is an experience rather than lots of physical items.
Yeah.
Which is a lesson that we're learning ourselves, and we're trying to teach them as well. That on this cruise, and there's not going to be lots of extra presents on top of that. But we'd rather spend our money on an experience together as a family than that are going to clutter up your bedroom kind of thing.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool, man. That is really cool. What a great idea.
Absolutely loved the last cruise. It was the best experience of our lives.
I remember.
To do it.
Yeah, I remember you talking about just how what a big deal it was.
Go into States a little bit early, and when spend some time with my wife's family, who we don't get to see very often. Before we go down to Sydney to hop on the boat. So
nice.
Bonus.
Nice. Oh, that's cool. So, did you say where the cruise is to?
So we're going to two countries. We're going to Vanuatu and New Caledonia.
Man, I've never even heard of those. Are those real places?
So New Caledonia is actually a French territory, which is just off the coast of Australia a little bit, and Vanuatu is another Pacific island with English and French influence, but they've got their independence as a nation now.
Okay.
So influence, but not. Whereas New Caledonia is basically considered part of France.
Okay.
So they can vote for the President of France and the European Union, all that kind of stuff.
Okay. Huh.
There is a bit of a push in their country for independence as well. But, yes.
So, what are kind of like the things that make those destinations kind of like interesting to tourists?
Well, New Caledonia we did last time. We went to the capital city, which was just a city, but was the local plus in the French influence. That made it quite a unique kind of place to be. But the big draw card, the second place we stopped was an island called Isle of Pines, which is like your tropical paradise.
Oh.
Amazing beaches and palm trees and the snorkeling mask on with the GoPro, and we looked under the water and saw fish. We didn't quite go out far enough to see like the amazing coral reefs and stuff, but just really, really idyllic kind of island.
Yeah, you guys, I have to say, I'm sure you've heard this before, you're a little bit confused over there in Australia with your weather. Someone needs to fix your weather situation around Christmas time, because it's all sunny and hot, right? Instead of like, instead of cold.
Probably reverse the polarity or something.
Yeah. Of course, the same thing could easily be said of Arizona. I mean, we don't get snow here. You can still most Decembers wear shorts, you know, but it's not hot, you know. We're not reversed and all backwards like you guys are.
It wouldn't feel like Christmas if we weren't at the beach. So.
Yeah, I figured that, which is so interesting.
We also have your culture because we get so much on TV and movies. Back of your mind, there's that association with snow and all that because you see so much of that on TV.
So
it's really weird.
Yeah, it must be like, so there's like your experience that you associate Christmas with warm weather, but yet there's a compartment of your brain that lives in fictional places, maybe, that understands that Christmas is mostly for others associated with cold weather. That's so wild.
A bit there on my end, Paeter.
I'm sorry, what's that, Reed? Sorry, I missed what you said, Reed. It's something about your end, on your end.
Saying that you're breaking up on my end, but that could be my problem.
Ah. Yeah, I don't know. I wonder. I don't think this was an issue during Extra Life. The Discord seemed to be working, but I'm just wondering if there's a problem with like trying to do Discord and streaming at the same time, which is why this is a bit of an experiment, you know.
They read a little choppy occasionally to me.
Okay.
It was weird because I'm probably choppy too. Because Paeter was breaking up, but Adam wasn't.
Okay. Well, we're really confusing Discord.
Maybe
I mean,
it wasn't just me.
We are covering like 3 very removed parts of the globe.
I changed my connection here. Be right back.
Okay. So, are there any kind of, like, apart from the cruise, Adam, are there any kind of seasonal things about Christmas that you guys typically look forward to, or that you're still looking forward to this Christmas? Or that you've already enjoyed, maybe?
About January for me is it's always really busy, and especially so this year because I'm getting ready. I'm getting lots of content ready to release on the internet while we're away and kind of stuff. But yeah, work gets crazy, church gets crazy.
Yeah.
And of course, it's the end of the school year, it's the end of the work year, so it all just kind of... most Australians are just their tether by the time the 25th of January arrives. It's like you can finally collapse in a heap on Christmas Day, and then it takes you like days summer.
That is interesting. So you said it's the end of the school year. So is there like a significant break around this time that's longer than other breaks during the school year for the kids?
We call it our Christmas holidays, but it's basically our long summer holiday. Exactly like you guys do. You just do it in the middle of the year. Very much calendar year based. Whereas you guys, even with your TV, you break things up like half of this year, half of the next year. Everything in Australia is calendar year.
Well,
except the financial year.
There is something that's very satisfying sounding about that, because here in America, and I imagine in other places that are similar, you talk. There's the calendar year, and then there's the school year. And the school year, we always talk about it like the 97-98 school year, or the 2019 the 19/20 school year. Whereas for you guys, it's just like the 2019 school year, right?
Yep.
Yeah, see, that's a good system.
Yeah. It makes it simpler in a lot of ways, but it does mean everything does come down on us in December.
Oh, yeah, I can see that now. Yeah, end of the school year. So, like, end of year exams for the students are like around this time, yeah? Particularly
with the older grades, they usually get that out of the way by late November.
Okay.
But yeah, a couple of days ago, we had my son's grade 6 graduation. So yeah, I took 2 hours off work that day to go and do that, which I then had to make up. So just lots of little things like that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
On top of the usual Christmas busyness.
Okay. Wow.
I don't know if this is just our phrase or if it's used in America, but it's often called the silly season.
Oh, okay. No, I've never heard or used that phrase before to describe the Christmas season.
Because the shops are always busy, people running around.
Yeah. Do you guys have what we call Black Friday over there? Probably not. That's probably distinctly American because it specifically falls on the day after Thanksgiving, when people in America tend to shop because they often still have a vacation day for the Thanksgiving break, and people start thinking ahead to Christmas, and so they're like, oh, while I'm on vacation, why don't I get my Christmas shopping done for my relatives? It's
slowly becoming a thing. I only heard of it a couple of years ago when I started, because it's the internet. So I started getting emails from Amazon talking about Black Friday.
Okay. Huh.
And I'm thinking, Black Friday, isn't that like when we remember the 100 people who died in the bushfires in Victoria in the 30s?
Yeah.
It's actually a real thing. We call that Black Friday. Because everyone's shopping online now, it's kind of becoming global. So,
okay.
And I think even a couple of shops, like physical shops in Australia, are starting to jump on the bandwagon and do Black Friday.
Interesting.
An online thing that's starting to become known here.
It's such a dark sounding thing. But what I learned a number of years ago is that it's called Black Friday because that's when businesses have the opportunity to get back in the black. Like if they're in the red all year, then they have the chance to get back in a better financial place on Black Friday. That's their catch-up day. Which is really weird. It sounds like such a dark, ominous day. And I think, there's certainly a way that you could look at it that way. Especially, in the last, I want to say, 10 years in America, there have been, like, even some issues of violence. It's not a common thing. Like, I've never seen it happen before, and I even live, in a big city. But, you'll hear now and then about people getting trampled. I think a handful of years ago, there were even some deaths from people getting trampled in stores because just mobs of people were trying to rush the doors to get these great deals, just like, oh my gosh.
Horrible.
So, Reed, that would be something where there's something about Christmas that is not right, that is not worth imitating. And there's certainly a materialism that has become associated with it. I mean, it's funny, there's all these, there used to be, I mean, there still are, but I don't feel like there's a big a deal anymore in America, but like what I kind of called the Christmas wars, where Christians were just wanting to be adamant that like put Christ back in Christmas and don't secularize it, and there was a movement from store owners to appeal to all kinds of different customers, and so they would tell their employees, don't say Merry Christmas, say Happy Holidays. We don't want to be specific to Christians, and there were Christians getting up in arms about that, and part of me at the end of the day is just like, hey, Jesus never actually asked us to celebrate his birthday. And it didn't land on the 25th. It probably wasn't even during this time of year. We don't really know, And, so we can probably settle down a bit on that.
Yeah,
I had a friend who said, hey, when they say Happy Holidays, the HOLI means holy, so they're saying Happy Holy Days, so that's still good.
Well, there is that, yeah.
Yeah, good point. Not that I don't think I ever really got worked up about it, but
I mean, there's a sense in which, we ought to grieve the fact that, like, people are kind of feeling like that, wanting to be dismissive or, get kind of, I don't know, just set up walls and boundaries and, but yeah, there are much bigger fish to fry.
Christmas is useful because it is where you're allowed to be a Christian, and you're allowed to talk openly about in the media and not be kind of, I'll get that religion out of here kind of thing. It's a useful tool to connect with the culture, but yeah, it's certainly not something that we need to observe.
Yeah, that's a really good point, Adam. One thing that our church kind of took to doing a number of years ago, our former lead pastor, who's now retired and still on staff part-time, but he enjoyed kind of doing this metalworking type thing where he liked working with steel rods that he would bend into different shapes and create these kind of sculpture type things, and he made it his hobby over the years to create these unique frames to create 3D light displays, so that Christmas time they would wrap lights around these things, and so now our church for years has been like a major destination in our city for people to come by and see Christmas lights, and knowing that to be the case, they created like a narration, an audio narration that you can use an app or a local frequency to tune into, that kind of talks about the meaning of the light displays, because they all have this rich symbolic meaning that's derived from truths of Scripture, and in the kind of the genesis of that whole thing, they asked me if I would kind of create and narrate that audio track, and so that's been kind of a regular part of my tradition to kind of like update that each year, and but it's been kind of a neat tool because people don't find lights threatening at all. They come and check out the lights, but then if they want, they can pick up one of these flyers that we put out that kind of talk about the symbolism of the lights, or they can tune in or use the app or whatever, and people now over the years have said that will say, yeah, the first time I came to the church was for the lights, and all these years later now I'm a regular attender. So I think that the point you made is worth kind of underscoring. That is absolutely can be a great tool.
Do you have a Spirit Blade coupon code at the end of your narration?
No. No. I did. We've started a church podcast about a little over a year ago now. It's a monthly podcast, and that was about the time that I had recently started the Patreon and stuff, and was just really taking to heart, the fact that Holly is doing work that she does not like, and has been doing it faithfully for years, and allowing me to continue in my work, and And so I really felt a conviction that, you know, I need to be more willing to embrace discomfort in kind of like promoting my own stuff, even though that feels really super icky to me. And so I asked our worship pastor if it would be all, because she was the one that was kind of like serving as producer for the podcast. If it would be all right if, like, in the intro to that, I said, welcome to Living Stones, you know, and I described the podcast, and I say, I'm Paeter Franson from Spirit Blade Productions and your fellow seat warmer at Red Mountain Community Church, you know. And she was gracious enough to let that to be in there, you know, and so that's part of the opening every month. I always feel a little weird about it every month. But it's some. But no one's ever, you know, said anything to me about it. Who knows what some people might be thinking? But yeah, I don't know why I got on that rabbit trail. But no, it is. It is cool. And there are there's one of the wives of one of our elders, unbeknownst to me, like the gal that cuts my hair, said a while back, she says, we watched a video of yours in the women's Bible study class this last week. I'm like, what are you talking about? You know. And one of the elders, I guess, had been watching the YouTube channel and watched one of the In Search of Truth segments, and there was just something in there that really connected with where they were going in the weekly women's Bible class, and so she used a clip from that in their class, and so that was really cool to hear that there's some stuff I'm doing that could be useful to non-geeks, you know, now and then.
Very, very cool. That is awesome.
Francisco, how's your Christmas season shaping up? Does it feel Christmassy to you yet at all, or?
Yeah, like we have our decorations up, we have our tree up. It's cold and rainy, so it feels Christmassy, I'd say, on the whole. So.
Yeah. Now, I always forget where everybody's from. Are you West Coast, Francisco?
Yeah, I'm up in Pacific Northwest, Oregon.
Okay, Oregon. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So do you guys get snow there, or what?
Sometimes, not every year, but sometimes we do down in the valley. I mean, certainly Mount Hood gets snow all the time.
Okay.
We don't down here. It's off and on. Some years yes, some years no.
Gotcha. Okay. So is there anything still waiting for you, Francisco, that like is really going to seal the deals? Like, okay, now it's going to feel like Christmas when blank.
Well, I'm kind of. I think Reed was speaking something a bit to this earlier, but I used to be. I'll try to keep this short. I used to be one of those people that would put up their tree right after like Halloween night, because like Halloween season's over. Okay, time for Christmas.
Whoa!
Like, I was really into Christmas, but then after having kids, and Christmas couldn't be about me anymore, I started not being as interested into getting into the festivities. As cold as that is, just being honest.
Yeah.
But as they're getting a bit older and a bit more into it themselves, that's become kind of a cool thing.
Yeah.
So, though now with our oldest, we're struggling with the whole. Well, all my friends get all the cool iPads and iPhones and stuff, so don't I get something really big and cool? I'm like, no, that's not. No, you don't. So be happy with what you get. So contentment is going to be a thing we're working on. I think now for probably a few years for the rest of our lives.
Yeah. Yeah, we set a budget for each other. I didn't grow up. I was raised by two elementary school music teachers, and so we didn't have the income even to spend irresponsibly on Christmas. And so I, like, when I hear stories about people that, like, as adults are getting, like, cars for Christmas, I'm like, oh my gosh, you know, or, you know, these other big lavish things. That's totally outside of my realm of experience. But now we set a budget. Holly and I have kept to it pretty well, and you know, it's not much. It's like what we set aside, like in the Christmas money, $50 that can come from the Christmas budget, because Holly has budgeted our lives, and it's awesome, even though I would hate to do that with all those numbers. so we get $50 from the Christmas budget, and then we just plan to also spend about $50 of our own money. And so it works out to, being about $100 that we are going to spend, on each other. So, that could be like a video game and maybe, a few other, things, or we can stretch it more if we buy used, which we like to do a lot. But, that's for some people that is big. For some people that is big and lavish, that kind of budget for Christmas. So, I don't want to brush that off too much. It's all relative, isn't it?
Totally. And yeah, you'd never want to fall into the comparison trap of comparing yourself with other people. So
yeah.
That just brings in a whole nother set of issues.
Yeah. But talking about contentment and stuff, yeah, I feel you on that. It's like, it's been years since I've really been excited for Christmas, and another reason is because the way we budget, as long as I am conservative and just really spend money on things I'm really interested in, I kind of always have the resources to get the things that I'm really interested in having, and frankly more than that, And so when you're a kid and you don't have a job and you don't have any kind of regular income except for maybe a measly allowance, then like Christmas and birthday, those are your big days of the year where you could get something that's more of a big ticket item, But as an adult, you have a lot more opportunity to just kind of like pick up the things that you want now and then. You can get a DVD or a Blu-ray or whatever, when you're interested in it, And so for a while, Christmas has really been something that, like, at most I'll be like, oh, that would be cool if I ended up getting that, DVD or Blu-ray or, whatever it is. But it's not something like, oh my gosh, I really hope I get this, And then this year was really kind of a turning point for me because, and dang it, I wish I could share this on the, okay, I'm going to share this on the stream because this isn't going public. Let me think, can I get away with this?
Scoop.
Yeah, inside scoop about what's planned for our boys' Christmas. Okay, I'll speak in code, but you guys are going to be able to figure this out. There is a modular console that a Japanese company created that allows you to play on the go or hook it up to a TV. Reminds me of my good friend Mitch.
Man, you're getting ColecoVision? That's amazing.
And Asher has been saving up. I'll get a little closer to the microphone and my phone here. Asher has been saving up so diligently to get one for just months now, and so we basically coordinated it so that between both sets of grandparents pitching in and us putting in the money that we allotted for his budget, we're going to be able to present him with the total on Christmas Day that will allow him to buy it. And in fact, we've already purchased it. And I'm going to set up like a little shop in my office so that Christmas morning he's going to follow like a trail of clues around the house. Coming back to your concept of experience, Adam, we like to throw in a little experience. Nothing as lavish as a cruise, but my dad used to do these little treasure quest and riddle hunts that would take us around the house to find our presents. And so he's going to follow these clues around the house that will get him, more money each time until finally at the end he has all the money he needs. And then I'm borrowing a little plastic cash register from my sister Corinne that one of her kids plays with. And I'm going to set up a shop in my office and allow him to, on the spot, buy that and a game that he's really excited to get on that console. And so, and then also our youngest Titus, because I didn't want him to be left out and not have a cool experience, I got him a couple of racing games for the Xbox 360, really cheap, but he's going to flip over these things. And part of how he's going to get that present will involve him following clues again around the house that are ultimately going to lead him to our garage, where the last thing he needs to do is to turn on the car and rev the engine really loud in order to reveal what his like present is, you know. And Holly will be in the car with him, you know, and he'll just be in park, keeping it in park. But, you know, he's this little third grader. He's going to love the chance to start the engine of our car and like floor the pedal and hear the engine roar, you know. And then I'm going to present him with these cheap little GameStop, you know, used Xbox 360 racing games that he is going to totally flip over. And so all that to say, now I can speak a little bit louder. All that to say, this is a turning point because I think both of the boys are just going to be so excited, not just about what they're getting, but about the experience involved in getting those gifts. So this will be the first time, like, I totally noticed that, like, I could not care less what I unwrap, you know, this year that's given to me. I am, like, so freaking excited to watch them, you know, get their presents and have those big, you know, wide-eyed moments and stuff, you know. So that's like the big. This I you know, it could go horribly wrong, you know. But I'm hoping that this will be like a one for the history books in our house.
Sorry, Asha, you're 1 cent short. No Christmas for you.
That's right. Yeah. No, we did the math. We snuck in and checked his resources when he wasn't around.
That seriously sounds amazing, Paeter. Did you do something like that for Holly?
Yes. Yes, she gets a Christmas quest every year too. And
okay.
Last year was the first year that like the boys wanted to be included, and so I made one quest for all of them. And this year I'm making separate quests for all 3 of them. And so it's like it's been pretty involved coming up with stuff. But I got it done earlier this year, all the prep work on that earlier this year than any year before. So that's I don't have to worry about checking that box. But yeah, I did that for her, not intending to make it an annual thing, but she just loved it so much that she's like not so subtly hinted, you know, in the years following that she would like it again. And now she just is like, well, you know, you have to do a Christmas quest for me, you know. So yep,
that's cool.
Oh, that's a precious sound.
I'm looking forward to the day when Olivia's old enough to like appreciate presents.
Yeah. Right now, she's just going to be thrilled about the wrapping paper. That's what she's going to play with more than anything.
Now she's just interested in the plumber who's in our bathroom fixing our sink.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
She waddles, or she, you know, toddles into this room and takes a bite of this red bean bread thing I'm feeding her. And then she toddles back out and watches the plumber kitchen and watches as my wife. And pretty soon she's going to toddle back in here for another bite.
Well, this is the age when it's okay for her to be interested in the plumber. It's about, you know, 13 to 17 years from now that you don't want her to be interested in the plumber.
Not thinking of going there.
Not that, you know, not that plumbers can't be totally honorable guys, you know.
Hey, plumbers save princesses and defend against big dinosaurs all the time.
That's a very good point. I don't have anything against plumbers. I'm just saying that it might be symptomatic if of a deeper issue if when any man enters the home that is not her father, she shows great interest. But you got years for that, and I'm not even a father of a daughter, which that sounds like that's a whole level of scary and intimidating I cannot fathom.
It's funny because I feel like the same. I feel the same the other way.
Oh, really?
Both really wanted a girl.
So tell me about, like, because for me, when I think about the idea of being a father to a daughter, I think of like, oh my gosh, I gotta protect her. I mean, I would just need to, because I'm a dude and I know firsthand how dudes think. And which is, I'm sure, why, you know, the father, you know, there's that stereotype of dads who are like, stay away, punk, you know, because they know firsthand how guys think, you know. So, but you were saying that you would feel like a similar reservation or intimidation about being the father of a son. So tell me what comes to mind.
The intimidation, like certainly nothing in the area of or anything like that, but more of like, I don't know. This is going to sound selfish, but I was like, then when she gets to a certain age, it's up to my wife to explain things to her. But if we have a boy, then I'm going to have to be the one to explain things.
Oh, isn't that the truth?
Leave that to my wife.
Isn't that the truth? We started having talks with her. I mean, we tried to start young because we really wanted that stuff to not have a mystique about it. We wanted them to understand, that there are certain topics that are only appropriate to talk about here at home with our family, with mommy and daddy, But we wanted to, remove the mystique as early as possible so that it wouldn't be weird for them, or as weird for them, to talk about it with us or to hear about it at school or whatever. Because I feel like the more mystique there is about it, the more, messed up our thinking can be about, if sex and, stuff that has to do with those parts of the body is forbidden, and then I feel like it can just cause problems.
So what do they tend to shapeshift into with all this mystique?
A giant bit no, I was going to say something horribly crass. No. I was trying to find something that would work with the topic, but it's good that I stumbled and then aborted.
I guess the other thing is for when they're still in diaper changing age. I was sort of like, boy, if we have a boy, I'm more likely to get hit by something.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's for sure. Although it doesn't. The gender does not affect projectile pooping. I don't know if you've experienced that yet. I had an amazing experience. I mean, it had to have moved and arced through the air at least 2 or 3 feet. I had never seen anything like that before. I couldn't even imagine that was possible. But I guess the right combination of gas and the texture quality or something gives it just enough lightness to really be carried through the air.
Was he on his back?
He was on the changing table, on his back. Yeah. Legs up in the air, perfectly primed. Yeah. I mean, it was really something. It was really something.
I'm glad to have missed anything like that. That did not occur, and I don't expect it to occur at this point. So.
Yeah. How old's your youngest?
He's 4. Do you want to say hi, by the way? Here, okay, you can say hi.
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 Well, yeah, one would hope that there's not a concern about projectile pooping from him.
Right, totally. That'd be very weird.
We've reached the stage with ours, I don't know if this is common, but with our girl where if she poops, 2 of us to change the diaper, one of us needs to...
Oh, really?
...train her so that she doesn't, stick her hands down there and get all messy. And the other one does the cleaning while trying to avoid feet in the face.
Oh, man.
She's on her back being changed.
Oh, I gotta, for when you guys either see it in the delayed picture or watch the archived version, I've got this ornament that I was like, I realized I should show this on camera for somebody in the community or maybe the patrons or something, but I've got this flash ornament. It's looks like, I think it's meant to be Barry Allen. And I can't even remember now where I got it. I think I got it as a Christmas present, maybe from my parents or something after I was an adult, after I'd moved out or something maybe. But it's kind of like a fun, nerdy Christmas thing. I don't have many of those things. In fact, I don't think anything else that's like geeky that goes with Christmas. But that ornament I like.
That looks pretty cool.
Okay, it's fun. Is it weird that when you said I got this flash ornament, I was expecting like something created with, you know,
something
on the computer,
something animated.
Flash.
The only geeky things we have on our tree are I got my wife a set of Doctor Who ornaments.
Oh, cool!
Last year,
like
so
of the TARDIS or something.
Yeah, it has the TARDIS, Cyberman, I think, a sonic screwdriver, and a Dalek. I want to say.
Nice.
Did you even get anything?
We've got a TARDIS and a K9 and a Dalek.
Oh, that's the dog, right, from the old, the older series. I forget how those are named, but yeah. Okay, cool.
Yes.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'm slowly getting caught up. We're in the Capaldi Bill season right now.
Oh, that's good.
I don't know.
Close then?
Yeah, pretty close to 13, I think.
On the
I've seen all of the old classics. I've got a friend who's really into the classics, and so I can have a night with him and he'd share some of his favourites. But
Oh, cool.
there's a lot to go through.
Yeah, it's so crazy that like there are even, as I understand it, some episodes of Doctor Who that are like lost forever. You know, like they've not been preserved in any way. That's crazy to think about that.
That is weird. I didn't realize that.
Does Doctor Who
No.
predate the original Star Trek series, Adam?
Yeah, Doctor Who was 1963.
Okay.
I think 66. Doctor Who definitely was earlier.
Gosh, but that's not that much earlier, and so you would think that. I mean, I just wonder what happened with the preservation. I wonder if it was. I know it was low budget. Do you think it was at that time lower budget even than the original Star Trek TV series?
Yeah, no, I would definitely assume so.
Okay.
I think the mindset, because BBC were kind of scratching for money, running out of videotapes, and they're like, oh, well, we've got these Doctor Who episodes, we've shown them, obviously no one's ever going to watch them again, let's just tape over them.
Oh yeah. Oh man, that's so crazy.
No one's ever going to watch my wedding tape. I'll just...
Yeah, that's right. And now, Adam, do you look forward to the Christmas special every year for Doctor Who? Don't they still do one every year, like a Christmas episode?
I haven't done it in a couple of years. We had a New Year special instead last year.
Oh.
And nothing happening this year, as far as I know, either, but the new series starts on, like, the 1st of January, so...
Okay.
But yeah, no, that was always a Christmas tradition for us, because we'd get it on Boxing Day,
Oh, okay.
and so, yeah, we'd get together and watch that.
What's
First, it was just my wife and I. We put the kids to bed and watch it, and we've since invited the kids to join us.
Boxing Day? Is that when you wrap the presents? Is that what that means?
Day after Christmas.
Oh, so why is the day after Christmas Boxing Day? Are you guys start punching each other?
I've heard a couple of theories. One is that it was when you would box up all the Christmas presents. You put them in the box.
Oh, okay.
It was the day when back in England, the rich people would give presents to their servants the day after Christmas.
Huh.
I don't know how much of that is true and how much is legend, but...
Interesting. So, the churches you guys go to, do you get... are they pretty removed from using Christmas carols, except for maybe one token one each week, if that? Or, like, what's the... does music become Christmassy at your churches?
Yeah, we definitely switched to predominantly Christmas carols in December.
Is your church is the music like kind of traditional, or is it a blend, or is it more like contemporary or modern or whatever, current, whatever you want to call it?
Very, very contemporary. We will throw in a hymn every now and then, but it's always a contemporary arrangement of it.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds pretty similar to what our church does. Although it's go ahead.
We approach Christmas carols in the same way that we'll do the Matt Redmond version of Jingle Bells, or not Jingle Bells, but
Yeah.
to the World. Or,
Yeah. Yeah, we don't do as many Christmas songs though. Maybe she'll do like one each week, which I could always do more. But like when I was worship pastor, the first year like all through the Advent season did nothing but Christmas songs, and it was too much. It was too much work for me. I think it was a little bit too much for the congregation. But it's cool. I mean, there's so much richness, as there are in many old hymns, of which carols are just basically a type of hymn. There's some that really have real richness to them. I just finished putting together a whole section of a binder that I'll use not every week. In fact, about every like once every 2 or 3 months. Instead of doing my normal kind of morning quiet time, I'll bring a binder of worship music out to our living room while Holly's away, and I'll just spend that time worshiping and meditating through various songs. And I've been working over the years on kind of completing a Christmas section of that binder, and I lost a big chunk of it a couple years ago and had to reconstitute it basically over the last 2 years. But I finally finished it up this year, and was actually this morning using my quiet time to just meditate on some of these Christmas songs. And man, some of them are really great, but you don't get into the meat of them until like the third verse, like We Three Kings. That could be such like a throwaway. Like, who wants to sing We Three Kings, But then when you get into like the verses that follow the first one, each one of them describes a different gift that the Magi brought to Jesus, and they had a sense of what he was meant to do. It seems to be, because the gifts they gave, the types of the frankincense, the myrrh, the perfumes, the gold, each of those had a significance in the culture of that time. And one of them was a gift for royalty. One of them was a gift associated with worship, and another one was a gift that was a burial perfume. It's a very dark sort of gift, and so it's believed by some that these guys knew in some ways the prophecies of the Old Testament better than the local Pharisees and Sadducees, who just were not getting it and not getting who Jesus was, But there's a belief that these guys were watching the situation much more carefully and actually had a sense of who Jesus might be and what he, have some vague sense of what he was there to do. And so when you get to the third verse, it's he says, "Myrrh is mine, its bitter perfume breathes a life of gathering gloom, sorrowing, sighing, bleeding, dying, sealed in a stone-cold tomb." It's freaking dark, and it really gets into the crucifixion. And then the last verse, "Glorious now, behold him." I'm getting emotional just thinking about it. "Glorious now, behold him arise, King and God and sacrifice." I mean, all three of those things at the same time. He's King, he's God, and he's sacrifice. Alleluia. Then there's nothing left to say but alleluia, alleluia. Worship him, God on high. I mean, it's like the whole course of those verses as they build one to the next all the way through. It's like that one jumped out as like, okay, that's my carol of the year this year. But you wouldn't know it because we typically just sing the first verse and then we're out,
Yeah, I didn't realize that about that.
Yeah, I didn't realize that one was so deep. I mean, O Come, Emmanuel, of course.
Oh, yeah.
done that one before. In fact, I was going to ask if your version is even available anywhere anymore.
You know, I'm glad you brought that up. I have a note to make it available to patrons. I don't like it anymore. I think it's really dated, the one that I did. And so it's really difficult for me to listen to. But over the years, there have been people that remember when I released it the first time, and it's really kind of become a little slice of their Christmas experience, and so they like to be able to re-download it every year and stuff. And so I don't think I got around to it last year, but I made a note to myself. I was like, okay, well, when you put up... I'm going to put up some links I'm going to put up a video, just like a little Merry Christmas video, that also has links to past Christmas content that I've done. And included in that, I plan to include a link that will go to a post that's locked for everyone that's not a patron, but will be available to all patrons, and it'll have that song available to listen or download. So that should be coming. I'll try to do that sooner rather than later. At least put that song up, so that those who want to listen to it while they still have some Christmas season ahead of them can do that. So in fact, I'm going to make a note of that. That one, I revisited that one just kind of like in my own kind of like meditation and reflection time, and did a little bit more research. That has like a ton of verses. I think people typically do 3 of them. There are about 7 or 8, especially depending on which traditional thread you follow. There's a ton of verses to O Come, O Come, Emmanuel. Some more interesting and meaningful than others, but yeah, let me make a note of that.
Well, I'm gonna have to go, guys, but Merry Christmas to you all. Have a great holiday season, and hope to talk to you all later.
Thanks, you too, Francisco. Merry Christmas.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye, see you later.
Bye.
My timer for the hour is about to go off in a minute here anyway, so I guess I'll wish you guys a Merry Christmas too. I hope you guys have moments where you're able to find a little bit of peace, a little bit of quiet amidst all the busyness, to kind of reflect on something that is a source of life and encouragement to you. It can be such a crazy season, and I'm already experiencing some of that, but there's been also a few really wonderful, quiet moments that have been really cathartic and beautiful for me too. So I hope you guys get a chance to have something like that, and of course time with your families that will be memorable. So yeah, Merry Christmas, guys.
Thank you. Merry Christmas to you.
Yeah, thanks for all the stuff you put out this year.
Oh yeah, my pleasure. My pleasure. All right. Well, I will go ahead and sign off then, and let you guys go about your evening or your afternoon or whatever you got going on. And I've got some to-do items left on mine as well. 'Tis the season, right?
Yep.
All right. Have a good night, guys. I'll talk to you later. Hey guys, Paeter Franson here from christiangeekcentral.com and Spirit Blade Productions. I hope your Christmas season is off to a great start. If you're interested, we've kind of celebrated Christmas in various ways here over the years, and you can check the links below to some examples of that and different types of Christmas content you can enjoy from Christian Geek Central. So I hope you'll check that out. And yeah, in the meantime, I hope you just have a wonderful Christmas season. I hope that you're able to kind of get a sense of what God is saying to you in this season, what maybe He wants you to take some time out to notice about how He's moving in your life, and that experience just brings a sense of rest, a sense of peace, a sense of refreshment in the midst of all the chaos or the grind or whatever experiences and situations you find yourself in. I hope you experience and remember some of God's love for you in what He chose to do by becoming one of us, living on this oftentimes crappy world and dying in a horrible way so that we could be connected with Him and have a new, full, rich, eternal life with Him forever. I hope that you find some encouragement in that. So yeah, have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.